infant, somebody who has, they're diagnosing the stage, but some form of lymphoma, and people with a range of needs in the middle. And this week it felt like everybody's needs were very high. And my own needs were very high, so that's kind of a tricky water to wade in sometimes. What do I do when it's hard to do what I want to or what I need to? And I was thinking of a simple way to think about it. And when we're here, one thing we do is we bow to the Amida statue when we do walking meditation, right? Every time we cross it, we bow. And you'll see me, if I'm walking up with the Naijin, every time I kind of cross it, I bow. And one way to explain that is we're bowing to a teacher, the teachings. We're bowing to kind of the teacher in all of us by recognizing the statue as we move. But one thing I thought this morning that was really, felt like a profound change in my mindset was I get here pretty early. It's either me or Todd, Reverend Todd, who's the first one here. And I, get up here, I set up all the cushions for you, put the sutra books out, set up this, start the incense. And I was just in my head as I was walking up the stairs, going over the order of operations. And I was just thinking, okay, I'm gonna turn on the lights, I'm gonna set the cushions out. And it was just kind of chatter in my head. I wasn't stressed, but I wasn't really there either. I'm not kind of present with myself. And then I do the bow as I enter the hondo, and I come up here to do one full prostration every time before setting up everything. And as I was bowing, I was just thinking, oh, I'm here because of you. That was the thought that came up while looking at the statue. And it was kind of a nice moment of gratitude to think there's somebody who taught me all these things. There's somebody who taught all those people all these things that has gifted this practice to me. It's not really such a chore if I think of it that way. And then as I was setting up, I was thinking, well, who's really I and you? Kind of a very Buddhist left turn always in that questioning in my head. I was like, who is I? Right? I'm here because of all the people who have made this to be, so that you could be truly anybody, Nisei, Sansei, all the families before the Buddha, all the different teachers through the different countries that it passed through. That I could be me, right? I am here because I got myself here. I got myself up. I said, no, today you're not going to sleep. You're not sick. You were sick a couple of weeks ago and you didn't get to go and you were sad about it. Go there. You feel well. You'll feel good, right? I could be the I with the you being folks who come. I have been able to help sustain this Sangha throughout a pandemic, and that has allowed a lot of folks to engage in different ways. And then even that, thank you for the thumbs up in the back, but even that, isn't just me. If I stop coming here, if you never see me again, meditation won't disappear. All of the teachers who know how to teach won't disappear. People who have been coming here much longer than me won't disappear. So there's no real permanent I or you in that sentence. I'm here because of you. And what that means is it, for me, can be very expansive. And that's the kind of mindset we're coming to. One of the kinds of mindsets we try to develop in meditation, or one of the kinds of mindsets described in Buddhism in the teachings, is that interconnectedness, the thing that links everything together and takes you out of that solitary experience so much that I'm just tired right now. I'm just unmotivated, or I'm just in pain. That was me this morning. I have some nerve pain that's kind of always there, and today was particularly rough. And I was just thinking, I would rather not. And with those feelings, there's also, I really want to see my friends. I want to see all the faces that show up. I want to meditate in this way with the group. I want to be able to bow and find that present bow, not just the chatter as I walk around, but the me that is here right now. And all of those things are driven by that kind of suffering, by that kind of pain, right? I want to find the other side. I want to find something else, not just the hard things, not just conflict, not just disconnection. I want to find connection, ease, ways in. And so in thinking of the intent when we bow to the statue, the intent when we chant, what I'm expressing at least is that I'm here because of you. Every time I bow, every time I chant, we are here because of us, right? we wouldn't be us unless all of us were here, no matter what the configuration is. You take one person out, that's a different set of people. It's a different room with a different presence, a different set of ancestry, lineages, memories, history, pain. And so, making something that important, I think, allows me to see all those different I's and U's, and really, when we need it, looking at that statue can be us, right? I am here because of you. Who is me? That's the whole, in whatever sect of Buddhism you're thinking, Buddha isn't other. That's not the point. It's not, well, that's tricky to say, because there's a thing called other power and self-power. But regardless of technical terms, Buddha is not separate from us, right? The Buddha, any Buddha. There's different Buddhas. It's a manifestation. I think Reverend Todd said in his last Dharma talk, one of his definitions was like, the manifestation of true compassion, of true practice, of the teachings. And that is what we are all living out, what we are experiencing. Life together, all these different connections, all these different causes and effects, one by one. So when we move through the Hondo, when we do our rituals, I'd like to invite that kind of awareness that each movement we do is allowed only because of all the other things happening around us. Every single factor is allowing us to do what we do. And it can feel kind of like a responsibility, but it's also a freedom, because everything I do is also a part of all these factors, right? They're just happening. I'm not some weird thing controlling just this one little orb in a giant set. We're all just kind of floating around, making our way. So that was kind of what I was thinking today, in a way to, at least for me, get out of kind of grumpiness and into connection, which is always a much better way for me to feel, at least. I end my days a lot better feeling connected rather than just kind of crotchety and by myself. So thank you so much for listening to me today. So much for joining me today. Thank you so much for everybody online. I'm happy to sit with you today. This morning I was thinking truly about how hard it was to get up, honestly. That was the one thing I was thinking the most. I've had kind of a long week. I take care of an infant, somebody who has